Hi friends, today we'll discuss about accounting entries during a housing loan life cycle. You have disbursement, monthly collection, check bounce charges, pre-closures. So we have different occasions where accounting entries will be posted. Those entries today we'll discuss. The scenario is like we had disbursed 1 lakh loan on 25th August 2015 and rate of interest is 12% per annum. Tenure is 5 years, period is 5 years, EMI is 2224. So on the loan disbursement, what will happen? Loan ledger, asset ledger will be debited and credited to cash, then it will be asset, or it can be credited to customer account, or it can be transferred to customer's bank account also. So depend on that one, ledger will be changed. Right now we'll think of debiting loan ledger and crediting to the cash, and whatever the processing fees, 2000 rupees we are credited to income. So 98,000 we are given to the customer. So these accounting entry will be posted during disbursement. Then legal advisor charges. Normally for the housing loans there will be legal advisory charges. So what will happen? When you pay legal advisory charges, bank will debit customer's loan account and credited to legal advisor charges. It can be, normally we'll call it as income only. So legal advice charges are income. So we'll debit the loan account and credit the income. Valuation charges also same thing. We'll debit the loan account. So automatically it will be debited loan account ledger and credited to valuation charges. So valuation charges are income for a bank. So what happens month end? So month end 230 rupees interest is there. So what we'll do, first we'll debit the interest accrual and credit the income ledger, because we have received interest on loans, it is income for bank. Then when customer pays, so what will happen? It will be credited to the interest accrual and debiting the loan account. Once loan account is debited, automatically loan ledger will be debited. So accrual will be nullified and will debit the loan account and credit the income. So this will be month end posting. So what happens on the EMI date? Loan is taken on 10th August. So we are given the EMI date as 10th September. So 10th September what will happen? We'll debit the EMI receivable and credit the loan account, because it is a receivable from the customer. So we'll debit the EMI receivable and credit the loan account 2224. So during the check presentation, so customer has given a check for the monthly EMI. So what will happen? We'll send it for the collection. After realization, what will be entry will be posted? So other bank will be debited and credited EMI receivable. Previously we have debited EMI receivable, now credited. It will be nullified. Now what will happen? Debit other bank and credit loan account. So what is happens on 30th September? So 30th September, interest accrual ledger debited 986 rupees and interest income 986 rupees. Then same thing, will debit the loan account ledger and credit the interest accrual, because interest has posted. Always these accruals will be nullified. So on second month billing will be 10th October. First one will be 10th September and next month will be 10th October. So 10th October what will happen? Same thing, will debit the EMI receivable and credit the loan ledger. On check presentation, we'll debit the bank account because money has come from the other bank, and will credit the EMI receivable. EMI receivable will be nullified and will debit the other bank account and credit the loan account, because customer has given a check for the presentation. Check bounce charges. In case any check is given by the customer has bounced, then what will happen? So you will debit the loan account. When you debit the loan account, automatically loan ledger will be debited, asset will be debited and credit to X bank. So what happens if you collect the check bounce charges? So it has income for bank, will debit the other bank and credit the check bounce charges. If same loan account comes for pre-closure on 25th October 2025. So now principal outstanding is 97,538 rupees 90 paisa. Outstanding interest is 76,962 paisa. Pre-closure charges are 1% on the outstanding principal, that is 975 rupees. Total will be 99,283. But we have a GST on the pre-closure charges on 975 rupees. 175 rupees GST is calculated. Total 99,459.49 paisa customer has to pay to pre-close this loan. The same thing, whatever calculation I told you, same thing, pre-closure on 25th October and pre-closure charges 1% would be collected on outstanding principal. So outstanding was 97,538 rupees, 1% will be 975 rupees. And on 975 rupees, 18% GST is 175 rupees. So customer has to pay the total amount and he has to close the account. Thank you friends. If you like my video, please subscribe and share with your friends also.